guys, Andy the Budget Angler here. Bit of a different location for you. We're down in Stratford at the moment. We're not far from both live. I don't know if you can see that behind me, the Athlon Mitchell Orbit and just the top of the Olympic Stadium. We're going to have a go in the Olympic Park as well in a minute. We're going to go in there and see what we can find in the rivers around there. Here we're just at the City Mills Lock and City Mill River or creek, which is part of the Bowback River system. You'll be able to see the lock there. There's a bit of a wind blowing down there and it sort of seems to be accumulating all the duckweed there, and obviously right in the lock it's been blooming there. It doesn't look like any boats have gone through for a while. It does look a bit shallow, but then I've seen just a shoal of perch near the top. It's the first weekend of August and it's really sunny, which is probably not the best conditions for lure fishing. But as for that, we'll give that a go anyway. And I want to show you, just try to do something a bit different than what I've been doing previously. So we're just doing a weedless presentation there. You can see that's hooked on a weedless worm hook, as they're called. But I'll show you how to rig that up later. And there's some great other videos on YouTube that you can see. We had some success last time with the little white paddle tail on those small little jack pike. So we're going to give that a go here and then move round. So well, hopefully as we go along you'll see some fish. Catch you in a bit. Oh. There we go, guys. That is a lovely perch there, absolutely fantastic. Just nipped him. A little bit bigger than some of the little wasps we've been having, but he's still probably a wasp, to be honest, let's face it. But yeah, very welcome around there, and that was on a much faster retrieve and he sort of came out, but there's some nice ones down here. So let's see how we get on. Right guys, just changed to a normal jig head. I've changed from taking the weedless off. It was working, I was getting a few little takes, but the hook I was using was quite big. It was the smallest one I've got. And also I didn't have any float stops, the little rubber weight stops, and the little sort of brass bomb kept sliding up the line and making the presentation a bit weird. So we're going to go back to normal jig head. We're still here at City Mill Lock and we'll carry on with that. Now that might actually be the smallest one I've ever caught, but he's managed to take the whole thing into his mouth, which is pretty amazing really. Perfect little perch, absolutely lovely. There we go guys, another little one. So we've just moved round to, well, we're almost up on Bow Flyover. There's all these flats up here. There's a big shoal of bream moving through, but they weren't interested in a lure, which I'm not really surprised at. But you never know, it's not unheard of for them to take one. So again, loads of tiddly little perch, but this is great fun in the sunshine. I've got the test match on in the other ear, and it looks like we're going to beat India on day 4. So all told, it's a rather good Sunday. Right guys, just going to show you how to rig a weedless setup. So hopefully this is going to focus. So I'm just going to use one of these little paddle tails. These are the 10p ones from China, and this is the old worm hook, the weedless worm hook with a kinked shank up by the eye of the hook. I think it was £3 for 50 hooks, free delivery. Great little thing. So the idea of this is that you can bring the lure through the water without exposing the hook point to some of the weed, and because it's been quite weedy I thought it might be a good idea, but I've actually gone off it in this session and just stuck to a normal micro jig head and a paddle tail. So we'll get that on. So first things first, that's the right way up. You can see the sort of the vague sort of outline of the fish shape and the paddle tails pointing down. So you want to turn it upside down, hook the nose onto the hook and thread that all the way up to the kinked bit on the shank. So you thread that all the way up, and then you suddenly look, it's actually the right way up now. So then you just swing that around, and you just want to sort of measure up and see where the hook will come out on the thing. You can see it's just behind that little notched bit there. So that's where you want to bring the hook point through. So just take that through, and there you go. That sort of protects the point of the hook from the weed, and you've got the bait presented, you know, in an upright fashion. So as you're bringing it through the water, you're getting the movement on the tail. And you can get these hooks that are weighted, and some of them have actually got glow in the dark weight on them, or you can put a bullet weight on the line, or a shot, or one of these sort of little spherical bombs to give it a weight, and that then effectively you can jig that as you would a normal jig head, but hopefully you'll get less weed. Although to be honest, it didn't really give me much joy, but I think it's not much cop against blanket weed. It's probably great against streamer weed, but in these canals here they're quite shallow, and there are these big sort of rafts of blanket weed. Anyway, there are probably better videos online than this one, but it just gives you some idea while I'm out on the bank, and fingers crossed you can have some luck as well. It's been quite a nice little session for the perch today. There we go, finally guys, we're actually here in the Olympic Park. You can see little perch, and he has swallowed this an unimaginably long way down, if you can see that. Oh, and he's ejected it, that's the result. Put him back. Yeah, just to prove we are actually here, you can, that's the stadium behind me there. This is part of the Bowback River system. Well, that's it guys, that's the Olympic Park done. You'll see I'm leaving it now. That's the stayed in behind me in the accolormittal orbit. I've not actually cycled down this way before. It takes you, this is along the bit of the river I was fishing earlier, probably the first bit of fishing, although looking up ahead there it's actually all blocked off. So I presume at some point you will be able to go right through and back sort of down to Stratford High Street that way. You'll see that as we go up this slope now behind me. So yeah, it weren't altogether a bad session. Quite pleased with it. Lots of perch. I don't know how many you're going to see of me actually getting right while we're in the park, but sort of, yeah, found some nice little spots and probably a much more productive session than it has been up in the club water bits of the Lee. Although these, like, I suppose these technically aren't the Lee, being the Bowback rivers. So just go around there now. I'm still just trying to navigate my way around. Actually, I cycle sort of parallel to this. You can see the aqua centre behind me if it's not too shaky. But yeah, I mean, it looks like you can fish all along here. I did have a quick go in the main Lee itself, so not the Lee navigation, but the actual river. And it's deep and reasonably fast flowing, but there was absolutely nothing biting at all. So I think the canals are definitely the way to go, at least for the perch. Couple of decent knocks, but I mean it is all small stuff. So if anyone's got any good suggestions for somewhere where I can have a go at some bigger perch, then that'd be great. I suppose I could just change my method here and give that a go, which might be what I need to do. But anyway, that's going to be me now. As the light's fading, it probably looks a lot brighter than it is there. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. So remember, fish on, guys. See you later.